So today's what's this chapter about?
Training.
Training. Okay. So how many of you guys do any type of training on your own time?
Oh. Well, I feel like we have to do it on an everyday basis, because we're getting exposure to it.
Yeah.
But not like the one he's talking about.
Mhm.
That's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
And then we watch videos with you, so that kind of helps for the training as well.
Mhm. A lot of the training is here, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this. But this is training actually for us. And then, like Blanca said, like when you're coming to work every day, and you're always here, then you're always training by actually doing it too. That's like the best way to train is to actually really, really do it. But this chapter is kind of about taking it to the next level. So those of you guys that are super, super serious of increasing your income, then we could spend even more time gaining knowledge and getting better at what we do. All right, so it's a really short chapter. So yeah, let's get started. Blanca, what part do you like?
It's very short, so we had a few options. I'll go with the first page, the
Okay.
first paragraph. I like the whole paragraph, but I'll
Okay.
take it down to the second one, because the first one pretty much explains itself.
Uh-huh.
A Navy SEAL submerses himself in his training so that he not only knows exactly what to do in any situation, but also to give himself supreme confidence so that when a situation presents itself, he can move aggressively into victory rather than having to back off. So it just ties to the first part of this paragraph, like if you practice throwing curves, that's already exposure as it is. But now you're also doing it to build confidence and build momentum. So instead of like saying, I don't know how to do this, now you're prepared to do that and even more.
Okay.
So it's important that, practicing.
So I think, Blanca, you're a good example of someone, sometimes people have had a little bit of experience from another agency or company, insurance company. You came from like not being in insurance at all to, being able to sell this much. Like what part of training do you think helped you the most?
Just doing it.
Just doing it?
Because I remember I used to like not know how to handle certain things or certain situations, and I would always ask for help. But now it's like you already know what to expect type of thing, because you've already dealt with certain situations. So just doing it.
Yeah.
And just like even if you don't know something, just like kind of like tell yourself that you do, so when you say it, it sounds realistic to you and good to sell it. Type of thing.
Just come in
Because
making up
at
stuff?
Yeah, because no, at first I didn't know anything, and I would hate doing quotes because I had no idea what to say.
Yeah.
And then you just like kind of learn as you go, and you learn new words to say too. Type of
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah. No, I think that's the best lesson. Just to the best lesson is experience. So I think a lot of times, if you're new, you kind of get timid or you don't want to try because you're afraid of failing, and then that doesn't help you because you're actually not getting experience. And also, missing work, that hurts too because you're not getting experience there. Or if you're at work but not working as hard, you're losing out experience too because you're just not doing as much. So I think you're a great example of just being very busy. And by being busy, you just run into more different scenarios and you run into different circumstances, and you're going to learn better and better by having more experience. So doing it is obviously a great way to learn. Okay, thanks. Okay, Kelly, what you got?
Mine is on the same page,
Okay.
and it is the second paragraph.
Okay.
It is, if you find yourself backing off anywhere in the sales game, it is because you're not submersing yourself enough in training and education, and then practicing, drilling, rehearsing. So just basically here, like, if you're not doing good in sales, it's because you're not following up, you're not making up, phone calls, emails,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when the practicing, drilling, rehearsing comes into action.
Yeah.
You're like,
What is the next step, do you think, that we haven't talked about yet that we could do to even practice more or try to get better?
social media. I don't know.
Social media, okay. Yeah, like how?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, just contributing in it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, Kelly, did you guys hear that, Marisol, Joe? You guys like to hear that?
What'd she say?
She said she's going to participate more in social media. You said it and it's recorded. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's what we need kind of right now. But that's also practice too, right? Hey, it might be a little uncomfortable, and I'm have empathy there. Like everyone's different. Like some people are a little bit more shy, and some people are a little bit more extroverted, and some people, so. But practicing, Yeah, practicing makes perfect. Practicing makes you more comfortable. So sometimes you gotta do something a little bit uncomfortable, unnatural, but the more you do it, the better you're gonna be. All right. Thanks, Galia. Okay.
Mine's on page 203, where it says my training, whatever, for you. I kind of just like that little, which I think it's true, the daily listen to sales training programs while driving. Cover topics such as handling objections, generating ideas for calling clients, following up, closing tips, and the likes, avoid hype and motivational materials and focus on sales-oriented strategies specifically. So I just felt like that was because this whole chapter is basically about training and stuff, and things that work for people that are doing sales. And I like that little chapter of what I was able to understand from this chapter, because those are ways to improve your sales technique, following up, and the materials you use to be able to actually sell. So I mean, I like that little.
Okay.
I think it was pretty true.
Do you think you're gonna start doing this?
Well, I mean, some of the things I already do.
You do listen to stuff?
Well, sometimes a little bit, but not like I'm not so into it. But I have, and then I just not the following up, the closing tips, or like, I do things to be able to motivate myself.
Oh yeah. What kind of stuff do you listen to while driving? I like don't believe you.
To me, I mean, like, to be able to like hype me up and stuff and get me like going, I need to listen to something I like. If I'm not interested in something, I don't pay attention to it. It doesn't help me at all. I have to be interested. So for me to be able to wake up and be in like, focus and like be like, oh, I'm gonna stop today because I'm gonna go out this week, or like, have a good week or a good month. I need to listen to some good music,
like
something I like. I don't know, like I Queen, Bad Bunny, whatever hypes me up.
Oh, okay.
It could be Spanish to English, like that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
To be able to get me into the mood of coming here and doing whatever.
Yeah. That helps.
So it doesn't have to be like motivation speakers, because some of them don't get me that way. Sometimes they make me think about other things. So it depends.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
And we're all different. So, but this is true for some people, not all of people.
Yeah.
Like for me, I like that. Like following up, that helps me. Following up is one of the biggest ones for me. Or like just. There's the ways of sales training.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways of sales training. Actually, some music, especially the ones I like to listen to, are very motivational. It's like if the song doesn't really have to do like Rick, like all like Rick Ross songs,
like the workout
Jay-Z songs.
What are they
Like they even sing some songs.
Because all the songs are about making money.
Oh yeah, there's some.
I don't want to listen to music about like love and stuff like that. It's like I'd rather listen. I'd rather listen to music about
Love music is
yeah,
it's like
just
when you
about.
go to the gym, you listen to music that's gonna make you like hype, like hype.
Exactly.
hit a wall.
So when you're going to work, I want to listen to stuff about making money.
Really?
For working.
There's this guy that I work out next to, and he's like, it's like musical, like instrument, and I'm just like, how? Like it's like violin, like, and he while working out, it's like everybody's different, but it's like.
So this is on a whole nother level, but listen to sales training program while driving. Okay, this does again. This is a whole nother level. If you some of you guys want to get really into sales. For example, like this book, I didn't read it in the beginning. I just had the audio version. So when I'm driving, I just listen to it. There's books on all these books are on audio versions, and actually the author is reading it, so you actually get more context of like how he wants it to like what it's trying to sound. You get more off. Well, everyone's different, Some people learn more better by reading. But I like the audio. I like the video. And then there's podcasts, about sales or more. And he doesn't say not avoid motivation, but motivation is just fine. I think maybe, for Joe and Marisol, like there's so much material, YouTube material, there's, podcasts or there's books, audiobooks about social media marketing and how to make content and how to like grab audience. This chapter is asking a lot from you guys. That's why I like to do this while at work because, hey, I'm taking the time to try provide some training. But if you really, really want to get to the next level of success, then you're kind of going into your leisure time and using that as educational time, which is a lot to ask, but it's if you want to, you can. Like if you really want to get better at your job, it's kind of up to each individual of how much they want to commit to it.
Or if you don't feel motivated, and you just come because you want to work.
Right. If you're just working just the bare minimum, you're just not going to get it. You're just not going to win. You're just doing the bare minimum. How you're going to win? So the winners, not only while they work, they're working at 100%, but sometimes even while driving to work or like me, I don't get paid by the hour. I just get paid off results. So you just want to figure out like, okay, how am I going to get more results? It's not just like, oh, let me just put my hours in. Yeah, you're going to get here, get out, and that's it. It's like it takes a lot more than that to really make more money. All right, great. Where are you heading over there, Laura?
No, because
Oh, go ahead. Come on in.
I'll go.
No, come on
You
in.
can join us over
Yeah,
here.
come on
You
in.
don't bite.
We got the wide angle.
Okay. So I had like 2 parts.
Okay.
One of them is on page 200. It says, regardless of how long you have been in sales, if you're rusty, you are rusty. A dual saw might cut the tree down, but it will take much longer than is necessary. And then I also like the part on 201 where it says, training needs to be approached as a valuable and vital ingredient to increasing production, the way to increase sales and revenue. So I like the first part just because, like out of experience for myself, when I was at Freeway, it was hard for me. I couldn't. It was like hard for me to adapt to the way that they would sell because it's kind of like
Aggressive.
very aggressive.
Right.
So for me, like I always caught myself being like super rusty at sales until I was moved over to another office where the guy would teach me different ways to approach the client. That way it could be easier for me, and I feel like once I started getting used to that tactic, then it got easier for me. And then coming here, since I already been in a place where you basically you sell or you don't make any money. I think like that helped me here because I used what I had used over here, and it was easier because here it's kind of like it is what it is kind of situation, whereas over there you kind of have to like present it to the client in order for them to buy.
And push it too.
Yeah, and it's like a push. And then I like the second part where it says training needs to be approached as a valuable and vital ingredient. I feel like that's very true. Just because if you don't know what you're doing, then you're not going to be like a good asset to your company in a way.
I think, I think one thing you said, Laura, that I think helps with a lot of people maybe is that you don't even like count your hourly pay, You don't even like, that's just like, you almost pretend like it's not there, So I think what's really good is that having that experience of a job before is, if you didn't sell, you don't make anything.
Yeah.
Right? You had that mentality before, you had that experience before, right?
Yeah.
So if you have that mentality, if you guys came in here and pretended like, hey, I don't make any money if I don't sell anything, you guys are gonna go a lot harder. So having that mentality where if I don't sell, like I don't eat almost, I'm not gonna survive. That's kind of like the hunger that really you've kept that I think results in a lot of different, situations. And for me, if we don't sell, not only do I not make money, but I lose money. So that's why, if you guys can understand why I'm so, serious about what I do, is because, hey, it's like, well, not making money sucks, but losing money is even worse. But just regardless of just having that urgency, or not desperation, because you don't want to sound desperate to a client, but just having that urgency where like, hey, I got to sell something to make money. That's a really good mindset to have when it comes to sales. All right, thanks, Laura. All right, Joe, what you got for us?
It was the same quote as Laura, the one where you get rusty.
Oh, Rusty, yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you like that one?
So I liked it because I thought it applies to pretty much like cameras. Like I would take like a couple months off shooting sometimes, and then I get back to my camera. I'm like, oh shit, like I forgot about these settings, that setting. So I just gotta get working my way through.
Right. And that's what training is about, right? Just keep doing it.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Else you forget.
Yeah, and I think even with like social media, like all these things change.
Yeah.
You know, IGTV comes out, now it's 10 minutes, and now it's that. It's like you gotta just stay on top of it. So it's like you could get
The GT, what is that?
IGTV.
So like if a video is too long, it's like a channel. It's a channel,
Oh,
right?
like
You
an
can keep
Instagram
watching?
too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember.
there's new things coming out all the time. It's like it's more than ever like new things coming out all the time. Like now that you gotta know we're like what's the dimensions, like what's the timing of it. It's just like there's so much to learn.
When I started here from Freeway, I had taken about a year off of work when I had Maddie. So I had already sold Bristol West at Freeway. But when I got back, I was like, oh, I sold it. But once I seen it, I was like, wait. Like I got lost because it had been so long that I hadn't done it. So I kind of had to like refresh my mind. Like, okay, how do I do this again? You know? Because I had done it at Freeway.
Right. It's kind of how like people forget languages or like, it's very similar or sports and stuff like that. But the line I like about how what is it? The saw might get dull.
You have to keep sharp.
You're gonna keep sharpening it. Okay, so I don't know why I thought about this, but like when you watch like samurai movies and stuff like that, they're not.
I don't watch that.
You guys aren't into the Japanese culture? No.
Kill Bill. I mean Kill Bill.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
goalie.
that's
Yeah. So basically, what they're doing is like they have nothing to do but just sharpen their knives before battle. Like there's no battle, so it's like they're just so obsessed with the next battle. It's just all they're doing is sharpening it. So when they have battle, they could just it's-
Game of Thrones.
Oh really?
Okay.
Oh really? Okay. So basically, there's a lot of battles or just sports, but this battle when it comes to saws. What I just want to say is just preparation. Preparation is what makes the difference. You just can't show up to a fight and then you have a dull saw and you're like, you should have been preparing. So the same thing with sales, same thing with work. Okay, so yeah. All right, thank you, Marisol.
Mine are on, I have two little ones. They're
Okay.
on page 199. It's actually the first line. It is not enough to just read a book or listen to an audio program. You have to practice, drill, and rehearse. And then the second paragraph, the beginning. If you find yourself backing off anywhere in the sales game, it is because you are not submersing yourself enough in training and education and then practicing, drilling, rehearsing. I don't do sales, but I think that this applies to anything. You have to practice in order to get better. So that's why I like these lines.
Okay. What do you think you have practiced at work that helped you get better at here?
Picture taking.
Picture taking, okay.
Just everything I do,
Mhm.
I guess. Yeah, video editing. I mean, I don't do it much, but yeah.
Picture taking so far, yeah.
Yeah.
And what type of practice did you do?
Here.
Or
I
outside
take-
of her?
Oh, outside I always
Or
take pictures.
either.
Yeah, but here it's different because I'm taking pictures of other people, and not like my family or myself or stuff like that. So it's different because I get a different point of view. But I think since I've been practicing it, I'm just getting better overall.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's definitely a skill, just like sales. Picture taking is a skill. So when it comes to what we learn in this book, it just applies to everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to get better at picture taking, you practice. So
Yeah.
Great, thank you. All right, okay, what you got for us?
Same one as Laura, I really like that one,
Okay.
especially you have to keep the cells saw sharp. You have to continue sharp. To keep the cells saw sharp, you have to keep sharpening it. That goes back as you always have to keep training in order to get better.
What type of training have you experienced here that has helped you the most, you think?
I think just doing it on my own.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Obviously getting some help too, but just getting it done by myself, and then I learn how to do it for the next time.
So they're actually doing it. is it a little bit easier or for you to see someone do it and then learn it, or so you're saying that? But sometimes if you're on your own, you kind of get scared, right? Or
Well, yeah, I get scared, but I'll end up doing it.
uh-huh.
Even if I make a mistake,
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, I'll learn from the mistake too.
Okay. And that's the way you feel like you could probably learn better that way, you know. But the first couple won't be as smooth, but in the long run, you'll probably remember it better than being told what to do, because you're just like not thinking.
Right.
When you actually have to do it, you actually think. What are some trainings? Because you're still, you know, relatively new. As far as who's in the room today, what are some things you feel like? What are some things that, or for all you guys, like we could do? You think besides just book reviews and videos that would help with training? Sales training.
Share knowledge.
Share knowledge. Okay.
Like try different tasks. Like like sometimes you share. When it comes to starting a quote, like one of the lines that helps her is this, and you share it with everybody. So that's something for everybody to try. So just basically like sharing knowledge from a salesperson to another salesperson, customer service to another customer service. Like
That's a good idea. And I think we do that in these book reviews, you know. I think you guys, Laura and Jazz, you guys have said a lot of good things that help each other. So that's what these book reviews are for. I think we're going to switch around a little bit of seating. I talked about that with some of you guys. That way you guys could kind of see how other people are talking, learn from each other too, just like Kathy said. But sometimes, you know, you want to learn different styles and see what works for you, so get more exposed to like little different persons, you know. Do we feel like we do enough, or do you feel like you guys want more?
We just basically have to listen to each other.
That's the best way. That's a good way, right?
I feel like it's like busy enough for someone, like if it's a downtime for them, like to kind of hear the other person.
I mean, we all
not
learn
phys-
from each other, to
yeah.
be honest, because I've said things that Laura says, I've heard people that said things that I say, and it just works. Like sometimes for when we're quoting, when I'm following up, I tell clients, I'm just calling to see if you still want this quote, because if not, I'm gonna close it out, or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I do the same.
And, you know, I've heard people say the same things, and it works for me, and they say, you know, it worked for me too. So it's just like little things that we learn from each other, you know, or I hear someone, I'm like, that's a good thing to say, so, you know, same for the next one, you know?
Yeah, that's great. I think that's really good, because that means that you guys are aware enough or want to absorb information. Because I know there's a lot of people who are at work, and they have such a, you know, it's such a great opportunity to learn from people who've already done it, you know, but they're not listening. They're just like, okay, well, I'm not doing anything right now, so let me just check out mentally, you know. But literally, you could just get better at just listening to people who've already done it. Can you guys hear Laura?
sometimes.
Yeah. You can? Oh, really? Okay.
But it's
My
like,
ears
we're
are better than
talking.
yours.
My ears are really good, remember? But yeah, just, you know, learning from each other, and then, you know, for you guys have been doing it for years and years. You guys are really helping out with these book reviews, okay? And then if you guys have any ideas, share them, okay? Because we have team goals, and the better we do as a team, the better we all do. So it is going to be a team effort when it comes to training. Okay, cool. Thank you, Kathy.
Mine's on page, I guess, 199. It doesn't.
First page, okay.
It's the same one as Blanca, the Navy SEAL one, but then with it, I like that the one on page 203. It says daily watch roleplay situations that you experience trouble with or find yourself withdrawing from. So my mentality, like what I usually do is there's always gonna be a problem with anything. So I always try to like figure out ways to solve it without them actually happening, so that I can figure it out when I'm in the moment. Because whether they're with us or not, there's always gonna be a problem. Like when it comes to sales, they're coming to us because they've had a problem before. So you wanna know how to like figure it out and keep them. And then with customer service, they're already with us, but eventually they're gonna face a problem. So even though I'm like in customer service now, in sales, it will help me because I've already figured out so many problems that I'll make sure like to be better for them to like stay with us and be like new clients. So one of the things that I usually do is like on my downtime, I'm thinking about, oh, okay, I'm gonna present this quote. What if they have this problem and you know this and that? So I kind of figure it out before I even call them. Just I'm always thinking negative, but it's a good thing. Like it's actually like a good thing,
Right.
you know? Yeah.
Almost paranoid.
That's why sometimes I ask you, I'm like, hey Dan, what if this happened? And it's like a really bad scenario, and you're like, did that happen? I'm like, no, but just in case, because I'm paranoid. But it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
So that I usually do that a lot on my like I'm just like sitting there sometimes like. You know, but I'm thinking. I'm just like kind of like, oh, what if this? You know. But it helps. That's what I usually do.
Yeah. You're actually just preparation.
Yeah.
That's actually you're preparing for all different type of scenarios. You don't want to, overdo it.
Yeah.
Because the possibilities could be endless about how bad a call could be. But as much as I push positivity and optimism, you don't want to go the other way. You're just delusional. Like everything's gonna be fine. So you're not prepared. Oh, I don't have to get ready. I'm gonna be fine. So it's a balance. So we gotta find that right balance. But yeah, I think Kathy, what you said right there, which I really agree, is sales is like problem solving, and customer service is like that too. So first thing you gotta recognize is what problem they have. What's their problem? Do they not have insurance? Are they paying too much? They don't like the customer experience. Like what was their problem? Just don't assume the problem is that they're paying too much for insurance. I think sometimes people get in that habit of just like, oh, I'm pretty sure they just want to save money. Well, you don't necessarily know that. Maybe they had a hard time finding a Spanish speaker. Maybe they had a claim they couldn't get help with Spanish. Maybe they had an agent with a bad attitude. What was your problem? Okay, and then you solve it, and that's how you get the sale. That's totally different from just pushing the broker fee, right? My way is like, okay, what's your problem? Okay, how can I help you? And deliver on solving that problem. Okay, so that's a much better way. So to do that, you really have to understand what the problem is and understand why they're calling you. It's really important. All right, thanks, Kathy. Okay, Yi-chan, what you got?
I also like the line like how you say on the first page, because I feel like when I work with more quotes or like when I go to like sales process more, I'm like more confident. I don't know what to talk, what to say, how to explain stuff. So if I do more, like I feel like I can do more, like more confidence. So like doing more is like actually making like myself better.
Yeah, definitely. Was that what has helped you want to do more, you think?
Like if I talk to the clients more on the phone, like I'm not nervous anymore, so like I can like be like confident and like even though they ask me so many questions, I can answer. So I feel like they are confident to ask me too. So like talking to the clients, making me more kind of like comfortable doing what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a secret, It's like you do more, you talk more, you're on the phone more, you're gonna get more sales, and you're gonna get better too. So more experience too, Even if you're not getting a sale, you kind of learn from that too. Like, oh, I should have said this better, should have done that better. But doing more is one of the best ways to just get better. I think it's just like, I don't know if people are looking for a shortcut or some type of like magic pill or like some type of like secret, but it's just by doing more, you're just gonna get better. So that's why I just really push on just staying busy and productive, because you could be at a job for 1 year, but if that one person is just doing more, that person may have 2 years experience rather than one person not working as hard, and that person may only have 6 months worth of experience. So it's not really how long you've been here, it's like how much you're doing here. Okay, and that goes with everything, like making videos. I think we've gotten a lot better. Coming out with content, we just do more, see what works, and just the best teacher is experience. Okay, all right, Martha. For us.
I have two.
Okay. All right.
On the first page, Marisol says it is not enough to just read a book or use an audio program. You have to practice, drill, and rehearse. From astronauts to athletes, they all practice, drill, and rehearse over and over again until each smooth response and reaction has been worked out. And then I'll jump to the 202, the last paragraph, where it says, for sales training to be effective, you need to commit to it. It must be made the first thing each day, continue and actively daily, be available when you need it, and increase your sales predictions. So pretty much, it's like, if you practice what you're doing, you're gonna get, and you committed to what you're doing, your predictions will increase at the level where you wanna be.
All right. I know, Martha, you could share with us some of the stuff you do with your husband, right?
Yeah, so every night we talk about how to, like, tips of how close sales. So, like, I have an idea of what to do to tell the customer, or like ask the right question to know what they need or what they want, or what they don't like about, insurance in the past. And like pretty much how to close sales. That's what we talk every night, like new ideas and new books that he used the audio books.
Yeah, he has also shown me like some of the good books and stuff like that too. So it's really good that he's being a sales professional. To be really, that's a good example of someone who's like really into it. Like he's like spending his time because it's worth it. It's a good investment. Like he wants to make more money, so he's gonna spend more time, learning about it. But that's a blessing that you guys have this situation where you guys are feeding off each other, talking about it, and being on the same team as like, hey, let's both get more sales. So that's great. So yeah, I'm gonna challenge you guys. Okay, it's gonna be. And tell me, guys, okay, if you guys have something where you guys are like, hey, this book is good, or this guy is good, or this girl is good, or I found this on YouTube, okay, every once in a while, it's okay to work outside of work. Pretty crazy concept here. Okay, it's not for everybody. Okay, I understand that. Okay, not everyone is obsessed about success, but if you guys have anything, I'll be very happy to hear you guys saying, hey, I like this one. And that shows me that you guys are very serious. Or this is good, and then maybe we could share it with the team. Okay, so I just want to have a culture of learning from each other, being positive influences, and learning and getting better. All right, okay, thank you, ladies. Hey, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe. And then stay tuned for more future videos to help you grow your insurance agency. And also comment below and let me know what you think. Until next time, thank you.